Yeah, I mean, these three different siblings on three different continents sending money back to their parents, supporting them. You know, they don't want to let each other down.
What some people call black tax. When someone makes it out of the family, out of the environment, you don't forget where you're coming from. If you also think about what's going on within the African continent, you know, down South Africa and other African countries have come in and are sending money back home. But the honest thing is that that's how the black community has been for a very long time. When you go out, you're able to send back.
In 2025, over $20 billion was remitted back into the Nigerian system. We should be able to support that movement of funds from, you know, especially from the Nigerians, sending money back home into these economies.
Hi guys, and welcome. So I have two guests today that are going to tell us that in your circle, you know, your community circle, we call it Ajo, but you know, where the person that is responsible for it even has more societal power and class than you, for instance. So I don't know how true that is. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself for now, but I'm going to let Mr. T and Mr. Jonathan of OneMAI tell us if you know, their understanding of that. T.
Yeah, my man.
Mr. Jonathan, welcome. So, is it true? Do you believe that the person in charge of a community circle has more power and more class than we, the contributors?
I mean, let me quickly jump into that. Yeah. Somebody who's handling finances for, let's say, 12 people, right, is being trusted with a whole lot of things, right? Profiling, number one, very important, right? Which on a normal day-to-day, except maybe if you're in top level, you know, maybe a C-level guy or management or something, a lot of us don't handle profiling. So these people, they handle customers profiling extremely well because they are, you know, they are handling decisions that will determine quite a lot, right? That amount of responsibility is not something you see in a whole lot of our workplaces. What do you think?
Correct, yeah. I mean, you go to a bank, you fill in a form, you just see the bank once, you're just a number on a piece of paper. In your community, the people are seeing you every day. So that person arranging the circle, they know everyone more intimately than the bank can ever do.
So it's a lot more responsibility and a lot more work than we think when we pass that person on the road.
Yeah.
Being able to vet, even if it's informally, vetting who should be in the circle and who shouldn't be in the circle. But before we even start talking about the power that person has, the idea of a community circle, you know, giving access to funds for maybe say not the less privileged, but informally, the people who can access banks, who can access these kind of financial structures. How relevant is it today in today's world, especially in the Nigerian market, in your opinion?
I mean, it's extremely relevant. Family members, we survive on it. Businesses, you know, and a whole lot of, even from the diaspora market, right? A whole lot of money is flowing into the Nigerian system from the diaspora, right? So, and it's quite popular right now that you have people in small social groups use, you know, their social capital, like we always call it, their social capital to pay their rents. By statistics, in the Nigerian statistics, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, I quote, they have been able to use that to, you know, to pay their rents much more than any other thing.
I mean, I agree, because even today, or I think last week, I went to the market and you still see, even though you have, because I remember when the banks were starting off in Nigeria, if you notice, there's a certain bank that you always see them inside a market. You know, they were the first on the scene. I don't want to call their name, but you get it. And what they did then was they were building structures within the markets, so that once they're done with their daily sales, they just come in and pay. But even with that, presence, you still see that they still have their own community, because there's also the thing about trust from the people that you're collecting from, and also them trusting you that when it is time for them to get their own, their money, they know where to find you. So the trust goes both ways, and it's not, yes, banks are trustworthy, but by the time you start going through all the paperwork, and a lot of them are, I won't say uneducated, but the literacy level is quite low. So you see, maybe that's why those kind of communal circles are still relevant, even in 2026, with all the different fintechs and structures that have still come across with technology.
And that's right. Jonathan wouldn't know about that bank you're talking about.
Well, yeah. But people at home, people in Nigeria would know. Yes. So there's a bank like that. Maybe I'll tell you about it afterwards.
All right.
Yeah. So which now brings me to OneMAI. What's the USP?
Oh, access. What we're trying to do with OneMAI is access. So first of all, we create access for people to have that second level of alternative financing, right? Which, typically we call Ajo, all these things, right? But then the problem is usually about defaults and related matters. So that right there is where OneMAI is coming in with the structure. From our MVP, please follow us on our journey. We've been working tirelessly, to ensure that that structure will take away that extra fight from your community, from your social group. So like I said, when we're having a conversation earlier, that structure is going to give you a sort of predictive maintenance, so that before the problem happens, you are not looking for solutions. So before you go to the police station, in fact, the system is not even going to allow you get to the police station. So it's not a case of you looking for money to go to court or to go and look for a lawyer and try to recover your finances and look for debt recovery, all of those things, right? So predictive maintenance with some of the structures we have put in place. So those two things to reinstate, first of all, it's about access, right? When you need money, you have to go for it, right? Then the second of all is structure to savings group, basically.
Yeah, fantastic. And
Does
just
that sound good?
Yeah.
That's right.
When you think of it, access to finances is still a significant problem in certain SEC classes. If you're talking the F, the D, the ABCs, we can, I say family in the middle class or all class, but they can get access to finance when they need it. But, for the tomato seller on the road, for, people like that, they may not be able to get finance and access to the level that they need it. So I guess, which is why communal cycles are still relevant, and what OneMAI is now taking out the obstacles and making it a more seamless process for them, if I'm right.
Correct. Yeah.
That's it.
It's a simple to use solution. That's the idea. People already know how the system works. We're just creating a simple to use platform for them to use it.
Fantastic. What some people call black tax. Black tax, informally, is when someone makes it out of the family, out of the environment. You don't forget where you're coming from, and you send back, whatever. It can be money, it could be access, it could be gift, toys. Growing up, I used to look forward to, Christmas if any of my friends or cousins or uncles were coming from the US or the UK, because then you would get something. So black tax has been around for a lot of... It's a very unique time for your product. And I'll say this, because if you also think about what's going on within the African continent, down South Africa, and, saying, okay, everybody should go back to their countries because they feel like other African countries have come in and are sending money back home, which was a big issue for it. But the honest thing is that that's how the Black community has been for a very long time. When you go out, you're able to send back.
Yeah.
How does OneMAI fit into that then?
Yeah, I mean, you see three different siblings on three different continents sending money back to their parents, supporting them. They don't want to let each other down, and it's almost a bit easier to let the bank down because they've got a process and, well, they might blacklist you, but nobody sees that credit record. I mean, apart from
You and
maybe a few institutions. But the fact of the matter is you have to look your brother or sister in the eye
when you come back. Yeah.
And I mean, that's that social accountability, that kicks in.
True. It works both ways, because even when you go to school, when you're about to go, you don't go by yourself. It's the community that pulls funds together to send you maybe to school. Because I was lucky enough to do my schooling outside the country for my master's. And I was so, just like you said, I was so not scared, but I knew that I couldn't let them down.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have inconvenienced themselves to support you. So it's only right that you are also able to support back. So I do agree. I do agree with you that it's a bit easier to maybe let the banks down. But you don't want to come home and look at your family and be like,
the big D word, you disappoint me,
Okay, and just to rephrase that now, so OneMAI allows for not repatriation, but for sending funds back from overseas back to the country.
Yeah, so our financial partners are already setting up infrastructure for us to do cross-border, and then people will be able to like from where we started from, the Portuguese market, right? So EMI partners are going to be supporting us in creating, because these are, like I said, in 2025 over $20 billion was remitted back into the Nigerian system. So I mean, we should be able to support that movement of funds from especially from the Nigerians sending money back home into this economy. So yes, in a very short period of time, but from the technical perspective, our product roadmap, since we are just getting into the market, the Nigerian market, we're taking it one step at a time. And then there's a whole lot more in our product roadmap that people are going to be able to find very useful.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm getting converted more and more. For people that have been following us, hearing the conversations, may not really be clear on that one problem or two problems that inspired OneMAI to solve. So if you were going to talk about it, what would it be? Is it the access or is it structure? What exactly is that?
Structure, because it's always about the structure. So there's always money moving around, right? But without structure for that money, there's always going to be chaos, right, in your coordination layer. So we see OneMAI, simply put, as an orchestration layer where social groups use that tool, as a financial coordination tool for themselves. So basically, it's much more about structure, because you see that access, the money keeps moving, and that's what it is. But that structure is the core thing that OneMAI is looking at putting into social groups.
And I mean, now that you talk about it, with structure, it's scalable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in my community or my circle, I can only maybe vouch for 10 or 15 people. Mm-hmm. It means I'm limited to 10 or 15 people in my circle contributing for me access. But if there is structure and something that we can rely on that is doing all the work, the vetting, and ensuring that everybody gets their, when they're supposed to get access, when they're supposed to get it. So my 10 people become 20, become 30, become 50. So when I'm looking, so my dream can now be bigger. I need this money to do X, but since now that I'm on, on a bigger circle with more people, I can do 2X or 3X.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got a risk engine built in that's kind of builds the data, the profiling of how people contribute, and builds like a reliability score, as well as a guarantor option where you can put a guarantor in case of default.
Fantastic. understand.
And to buttress that point, so I mean, a whole lot of us build and we concentrate so much on products. Sometimes not the best moves. A whole lot of times not the best move. Almost all the time not the best move. So you have to understand your distribution layer, right? Because if your distribution layer is not solid enough, you're just going to have a very beautiful product sitting inside your computer and hosting it in your servers, right? So you talking about being scalable is one of the things that we've put in place. And then we've understood that we don't own communities. So what we just want to do is to just give you the coordination layer, like I said. So our distribution pattern and our go-to-market strategy is simple, just letting us partner with what we call our affiliate partners who are going to be using their communities and using our solution to bring that structure to their community financing. So that makes it even much more scalable.
So if I was going to ask a question, like not devil's advocate, because some people have tried to modernize or bring technology into this Ajo system. Why should we trust the OneMAI platform?
So there is the compliance side, right, where you have to first of all comply with what the government have put in place in terms of financial compliance, right, which of course we got sorted out. And then, particularly there are layers that doesn't give us control, right? So we were talking with one of these commercial banks the other day, and during that process, I made very clear requirements that we don't want control. So we are removing control from everybody. We are removing control from ourselves. We are removing control from our affiliate partners that own the community. Let's take, for instance, now, you have a community of 100 alumni people or 200 church members or school or all of these kind of things, right? You are not going to be the person that will have that control anymore. Neither us, neither not them, nor even the people that are forming the groups, So we have put all of these things into perspective. So that now makes even the CFO is not going to have access to your fund as a customer, right? The funds are just there. There are different levels of protections. I will not, because this was our request to our commercial bank, commercial partners. In the coming weeks, you're going to see publications about how far we've gone in terms of partnerships, in terms of integration. So that is about fund safety. And also that's why also we are trying our best to work with the community leaders. So because trust is usually through the people you know. So it's not about us going on social media and blasting and putting it out there. Nope. And it's a gradual process. We have to build it. They have to understand that, we are following the right patterns, the right channels that we are putting in place, so that at the end of the day, like right now, we are capping payouts, not because we don't want money to flow through our system, but because we understand that in our roadmap, it has to be a gradual process.
Yes. So that everything can withstand everything. Exactly. Structure can withstand the bulk that is coming in.
Exactly.
So we're doing things the right way.
That's right.
As opposed to just...
No, we are not rushing. It's a long-term build for us. So that's why we're calling on a whole lot of partners to become our affiliates, so that we'll be able to gradually scale together.
It's very good to hear founders, talk like that, because most times let's roll out, USP, let's everything, let's do this go. But taking the time to do it properly, to grow organically, and ensure that what is on ground can withstand what your capacity. I think that's so. Kudos to both of you.
Yeah. What I like about Tijani is he always talks about being a grassroots guy, going down to the grassroots to find out what actually the user is looking for, what the community actually wants. That's how we've built this thing.
And I think it's the right way to go. Because if you are in touch with the grassroots and you build for the grassroots, more likely than not, you know, the grassroots would jump on it and probably like using it, as opposed to just, you know, building from the top down, and then by the time it gets to the ground, it's not really workable. Because we're seeing so many fintechs, you know, built, and then by the time they try getting users, nobody gets on it because the people that really need to use it, they weren't thought about in the design process. So kudos to both of you. Well done.
Thank you. And I mean, to speak on that again, from the beginning, I was telling my co-founder, I said, well, see, before we write the first line of code, it felt like a joke. Now we're going to speak to 1,500 people. Well, we didn't hit 1,500, but we did well over 700. Spoke to
really understand.
To understand where. So a whole lot of the things in the product or our affiliate platform, the user platform, you know, is not, they weren't things that we weren't building sentimentally.
Fantastic.
Yes. So customers were always the center of our products.
Fantastic. Yeah. So how do people get on board now? What stage are we in now? And
we're smoothly moving into the market.
Okay.
Right. So right now we are in Lagos, Nigeria, and we've met a couple of, you know, prospective affiliate partners. So we've been doing a whole lot of those things while swimming in the waters to get to our destination. You get it? So
I have to ask Jonathan, how has it been so far for you?
It's been an interesting experience.
It has, yeah. Your first time in Nigeria?
It's my first time.
Fantastic. Welcome. You came in the right season.
Yeah.
The swimming season.
It's the swimming season. Yeah. We're just swimming in luxury.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a boat to go down the road.
Well,
really
you know,
car,
you see, there's something they always say in Nigeria. If you're looking for a house, looking to build, looking to rent, the best time to go out is when it rains. So you know what you're getting. So I think you guys came at the right time, so you can see, you know, what you're really, and you know, build with that in mind. So welcome to Nigeria.
Thank you.
So anything else you want your audience to take away from this?
You want to go for it, or I should go for it?
You go first.
Okay. So, dear viewers, what we're building right here is something that is going to be very beneficial to a whole lot of us, you, the prospective customers. And that is why we have particularly built into our processes an ecosystem that is scalable and has room for all of us to grow. And that is why we have built a very clean and transparent affiliate model. And we also now have our user model. That simply implies that we have you in mind. Join us in this journey, and whether you want to make an impact, or you want to generate revenue, or you want to create structures for your already existing communities in terms of financial structure, then you should really consider reaching out to us. And then I assure you that there's space for all of us to fly. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a community leader, organizer of a circle, we encourage you to download the app or go to the website and check it out. And yeah, we appreciate your feedback. We always, take what customers say and integrate it. So we're looking forward to what you can provide for us, and come along with us on the journey.
Fantastic. So you've heard it all. Community circles, community leaders looking for an honest system where, you know, authority and control is not with the CFO, the CTO, where your money is safe, you know, and you have access to it. OneMAI seems to have us in mind, because I'm also, you know, in the grassroots. So thank you guys for your time, and hopefully see you.